Go. Good morning, everyone. Sandra Madaffri, and I'm coming live from Woodside in Adelaide today, which is absolutely beautiful, beautiful town, about 45 or so minutes out from Adelaide. So welcome everyone who's jumping on this call. I am hotspotting with my phone, so whether you're on Facebook, hi Lisa, or whether you've jumped on the Zoom live, hopefully we will stay connected through this whole thing. But let's get started. I'm going to share my PowerPoint. And if you are watching this later on YouTube or on a replay, I would absolutely love if you reach out and tell me you've watched. So let's start this slideshow, and I will also get the chat box up for whoever is on the call with me this morning. There's a few of you on here. If you would like to say hello. So I've popped up the chat box. I have got a little putty cat jumping around this morning. So if you see a little kitten, I have a little friend who's decided to join me. So I'm sure she'll behave herself for the live. So let's get started. So self-sabotage, let's have a look a little bit about it. Here are some behaviors, some things that people do and don't recognize it as actually being self-sabotage. But here are some things that if you're doing this in your business and in your life, this could be underlying self-sabotage behind it. So one of the first things is putting off clients and sale generating work. This is a big one that I see with people. They, do everything they need to do in their business and put off that, that selling, that follow up. A lot of business owners do not follow up. They put it off, and that's absolutely sales generating work, and they do lots of beautiful posting on Facebook, but when it comes to crunch, they don't move forward with the follow-up. Okay, they focus on too many things at once. I constantly tell everyone and tell my clients that it's really important to only focus on 3 things max at one time, because your unconscious mind and your conscious mind, this is how you get overwhelmed if you think of too many things. And with those things that you are focusing on, you need to make sure that you have them, written down, and you allocate, time every day to those things. Okay. Not networking with other entrepreneurs. This is another one that I see, there's nothing better than being with like-minded individuals. Often what I hear is, oh, they're my competitors, they won't want to network with me, but you never know, who you might meet when you're networking with other entrepreneurs, and who might need your help. And yes, sometimes people who you believe to be, I don't believe there's any such thing as competition anyway, but people who you believe to be your competitors are usually, sometimes they might need you too, and you might learn from them and they will learn from you. If you hear noises in the background, it's the little kitten running around. Not pricing your products high enough is another big self-sabotaging behavior. Okay, remember, we self-sabotage because we're scared of not getting something or getting something, and sort of what are we going to lose if we have it, and what are we going to lose if we don't have it. So what happens is there's lots of different reasons why we do these things, lots of different fears behind it. And again, anyone who's watching on the chat box, please let me know if there's anything you would like to ask me. So one of the things that you do is, one of the ways to self-sabotage your success is by not pricing high enough. Fooling yourself that you will not burn out. Okay, that's a really big one. Everybody burns out. You need self-care. You need to take care of yourself. You need to understand what your, how much work you can do in a day, and then give time to yourself every single day. Nice background. I know it is a nice background, Ree. I agree. I wonder whose painting that is behind me. So that's another one. Fooling yourself, you will not burn out. And the other one is setting unrealistic goals. That's a really massive one. We often see entrepreneurs setting very unrealistic goals that they just cannot reach in the time frame that they set. So really, really important that you understand that one of the reasons why you set unrealistic goals for yourself is because you know you can't, on an unconscious level, see, self-sabotage is on an unconscious level, you can't reach them, and so that you're constantly proving yourself right that you can't do something. Okay, so let's have a look at why. Okay, so why would you want to stop self-sabotaging habits? Number one, it stops your success. It will absolutely stop you in your tracks. If you want to have a business, if you want to be successful in life, and you are self-sabotaging, you will stop it. Your unconscious mind will stop you from doing what it thinks will harm you. So if you're sabotaging, you're having sabotaging thoughts, or you're holding sabotaging limiting beliefs, or any of those things, the unconscious mind will stop you from succeeding in what you want. It stops you from reaching your goals as well. So it's really important. There's no point setting goals and then not becoming aware of your self-sabotaging habits, because you won't get those goals. Okay, one of the things that we talk about in NLP is that you can write out your goals, you can create vision boards, you can, affirmations till the cows come home. But unfortunately, if you're holding pictures and thoughts and ideas on an unconscious level that you're scared of doing something or you can't do something, you will stop yourself from doing it. And what happens is you constantly feel unfulfilled. Life never seems fulfilling for you because you can never get to where you want to be. So really important that we understand that it is just, self-sabotaging behaviors, we all do them. The important thing here is that you need to become aware of them and understand why it is that you're actually doing them. So what actually is, let's have a look at what actually is, and this is a dictionary definition of what self-sabotaging is. Setting goals and intentions, but never accomplishing them because you get in your own way. And the thing is that I often hear people saying, I've tried everything, it didn't work. But the one thing, excuse me, that people don't realize is that deep within, somewhere really deep within your unconscious mind, you are fighting what you set out to do. And that is what self-sabotage is. And as soon as you understand that and you become aware of what it is that you're fighting against, you can actually then take steps to move towards what you want. But basically, that's exactly what it is. Self-sabotage is deep somewhere inside your unconscious mind. You are fighting that conscious intention, those conscious goals that you were setting. So it's really important that you become conscious. Oh, there's the kitty again. That you become conscious of what's going on in the unconscious mind. And I remember many, many years ago when I started this path of hypnotherapy. Yep, mate. Great, Lisa. Well, you're in for an amazing week. I am starting NLP in Adelaide in Wednesday. It felt like this day was never going to come. We're 2 days away from it, and I'm really, really excited. So, when I started my journey, the one thing that really, really, really made me realize that I was in control of my own destiny, that I had brought myself to where I was at that moment, was the quote by Carl Jung. And it is absolutely my favorite quote because it changed my life. And it was the quote that until you make the unconscious conscious, it will rule your life and you will call it fate. And that is exactly what was happening to me. My unconscious was ruling my life, but I was not aware. I thought I was doing everything right, but I didn't realize that I had so much stuff that I was completely unaware of in my unconscious mind that was fighting everything that I was trying to do. And you know what? It still rears its ugly little head occasionally. So it's the important thing here is you don't knock yourself about. It's about becoming aware. So let's have a look at some reasons. Sorry, guys, I am on the laptop. So some of the reasons we self-sabotage are limiting beliefs that we tell ourselves. We're not good enough, we're not worth it, we can't do this. Things that we've been brought up from our past, from when we're kids, that we take on, that we decide to believe. You know, nobody in my family does that. All those limiting beliefs will stop you from moving forward, because no matter how much, it gets exhausting. It does get exhausting, Lisa. It absolutely does get exhausting to do this. Okay, so you know, and the thing is that you actually feel like there's this push-pull within you when it comes to things like limiting beliefs, right? You feel like you're constantly going this way and that way. So it's important. This isn't about knocking yourself about and saying, oh, look at these limiting beliefs I have. This is about understanding them and what can we do about them. But it is absolutely exhausting. And, you know, there's limiting beliefs that we bring with us for years and years and years. And you know what? You're not aware of them. Yet every time you try and set a goal or do something, the unconscious mind underneath, you know, says, you can't do this, or this isn't going to happen. You don't deserve this. And, you know, the sad thing is that because you know, those limiting beliefs are so strong that you actually show up in your business not 100% in how you could, and you miss opportunities and you don't see what's around you because you're looking through the filter of these limiting beliefs. Value clashes. This is a big one that a lot of people either don't mention or forget that are so important. If you have fear of success, cool. Fear of success, Lisa, goes even further than that. That is just a top level issue. There's something even beyond the fear of success. So like I said, you're going to enjoy the starting on Wednesday, the 7 days of NLP, because we'll get through that. But what happens with values clashes is we have different areas of our life, okay? And sometimes these areas conflict for us. For instance, you know, you want to stay at home with your children. This is, let's say you're a mum, but you also want to go out, you have to go out to work. Or if you're a dad, you can have, you know, you want to spend more time at home with the family, but you've got to go and do overtime and work and things like this. So what happens is you have an unconscious values clash between two areas of your life. And it doesn't just happen within the family area and, you know, work, but it can happen with other relationships, with health and fitness, with your own personal development as well, that can clash with other areas of your life. So if you're not aware of those value clashes going on, what will happen is the one that is stronger, so the one that actually means more to you or has more of an emotional connection to, will be the one that wins out. Okay, so again, you need to become aware of what's important to you, because values are what is important to you. When we talk about values, we don't talk about morals and things like that. We talk about what's important to you in life. So the area of life which holds the most significance for you, which is the most important, which is the most emotional connection that you have, will be the one that wins out. And the last one here is negative emotions from the past. We actually don't realize some of the things that we do when we're children, and, you know, mainly when we're children, but also sometimes as we get older, when things happen to us, we hold on to those negative emotions. and we hold on to them in the unconscious mind. And what happens is it stops the way we show up, because the unconscious mind, its prime directive, the most important thing that it does is to preserve the body. So the receptors in your brain that feel emotional pain are the same as receptors in your brain that feel physical pain. So what happens is, if the unconscious mind thinks that you're going to step out of your comfort zone and go and do something that you're not used to, it will stop you from doing it, because if you have failed in the past, or what it perceives to be a failure, or you've been chastised or something, there's some sort of negative emotion attached to that memory of something similar to what you're about to do, the unconscious mind will sabotage you from doing it, because it doesn't want you to feel that pain. Okay, so you need to have a look at all of these and see which one is it for you when you are constantly self-sabotaging. So you do need to go a little bit deeper. So let's have a look at some ways to actually recognize self-sabotage. Okay. Habits, routines that get in your way. What habits and routines do you actually have that get in your way? One of the best, I suppose, non-habits that people have that get in their way and non-routines is actually not having one, not having a routine, not planning. Now, when I say planning, you cannot control every aspect of your day, but you need to be in charge and know what's going on. So not having habits and routines is a big one that can actually get in your way, because you know what? You're just flying everywhere. And especially when it comes to business, you have no direction every day. What do I need to do today to get potential leads and potential clients? So really important that we have a look at that. Procrastination. Procrastination is another amazing way that people get in their own way. They just don't do it. Or they find other things to do instead, so that they put off what they need to do for their business. What's that? Yep. Yes, Lisa, absolutely. Okay, so procrastination is a big one. If you are a big procrastinator, I will guarantee you that you are self-sabotaging yourself. That's why you do it. Perfectionism is another one. If you keep trying to make something, but there is no such thing as perfectionism, but if you keep trying to make something perfect, you will never put it out there. You will never put yourself out there. This is one of the things that I work constantly with my clients, my VIPs who are in my Passion to Profit program, is their perfectionism. They won't jump on and do Facebook Lives because it's not perfect. Nothing is ever perfect. My lives are far from perfect. My webinars that I do every Monday are far from perfect, but I get a message across, and that's the important thing. But perfectionism, if you're a perfectionist and you don't put yourself out there and don't put things out there, you are self-sabotaging. Emotions from past experience. So in other words, you get caught up in your past experiences, okay? Here in Ree's place, she's got an amazing book which is called 90 Seconds Emotions, which we were talking about the other day, which was a great reminder for myself. Emotions actually last only 90 seconds, and then it's our thoughts that kick in. Okay, so any emotions that keep coming up around a past event, you're actually thinking about it and re-engaging those biochemicals that have created that were released when that emotion was present in the actual experience in the first place. Okay, and unfortunately, one of the things that happens is we actually can be addicted to those chemicals that come up for us. Okay, so if you find yourself going into emotion from past experiences over and over and over again, you can possibly be self-sabotaging yourself without knowing. Okay, negative self-talk. If you do a lot of negative self-talk about yourself, your business, getting your business off the ground, all those sorts of things, please catch yourself. because this is an amazing way of self-sabotaging yourself. And how this happens is that the unconscious mind follows your directions. It does not recognize a negative. So even if you're using words like, I can't, I don't, I'm trying to think of one off the, right. I don't know how to do that, right? Or I don't, the unconscious mind will pick that up and want to prove you right. So any negative self-talk whatsoever. And also too, making sure that you're talking towards what you want, not away from, okay? Any negative thoughts. We have so many thoughts per day. I can't remember how much it is now off the top of my head. But how many of them are negative? If you can start catching yourself, because again, the unconscious mind will want to prove you right. So when you have a negative thought and the unconscious mind is eavesdropping on that negative thought, what happens is then it will want to prove you right. So it thinks, you know, if you have an opportunity or a possibility to show up in a different way, it will not let you show up in that way because it thinks that you want that negative thought or that negative experience that you're thinking about. Self-confidence. Self-confidence is a massive one. Okay, now self-confidence, I do have a 4-week little mini series, mini workshop on self-confidence. And self-confidence is not something that just happens. You have to nurture. Self-confidence is an inside job. You have to create self-confidence. So if you don't have confidence, you will find that it's either limiting beliefs or it's, you know, all those sorts of things, negative emotions from the past, that is actually creating you not to have self-confidence. Okay. So really, really important that you have a look at if you have any of these traits going on, if you have any of these habits going on or not going on. For instance, you don't have a habit or a routine that you have every day to get yourself going, then you possibly are self-sabotaging yourself, okay? And self-worth is a massive one. If you don't think you're worthy of success, if you don't think that you're worthy of the business that you are creating, you will prove yourself right. Your unconscious mind will do things so that you don't succeed, or that things don't work out the way you want them to, so that it can prove that you are absolutely 100% right and are not worthy, because that is what you'll keep telling your unconscious mind. So let's have a look at how to stop self-sabotage right now. Okay, because there's no better time than now. Break the cycle by doing something different daily. So break your cycle. Do something, and hopefully something, of course, towards your business. But break the cycle. Do something different today that you didn't do yesterday towards doing your business. And that could be something as simple, you know, it doesn't have to be something big, something tiny, 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 like jumping on Facebook and putting a live up, or putting a post up if you're trying to get your business, or jumping into a group and introducing yourself. Do something different every single day. Recognize the habits that keep you stuck. Have a look at those habits. What is it that I'm doing or not doing? Because sometimes we have habits that don't do what we want to do. Okay. And one of those habits can sometimes be getting up late to go to work in the morning. So if you're all getting up late before you see a client, so you have no time to actually jump on and find new leads, you see. So there's habits that we do that we actually don't realize are stopping us from actually moving forward. So what habits are you doing that keep you stuck? And like I said, going to bed really late at night is a massive one. You get up, and so then you get up late, and then you're tired during the day. So what habits are you into that are keeping you stuck? Practice some affirmations. Okay, it's a good way to just start getting yourself used to being able to say positive things to yourself. And some of these affirmations could be things like, you know, I can do this, I have got this, I've done this, I am this. Okay. And, you know, great to pop them on your wall, prop them on your mirrors, you know, in the morning, you know, ladies putting on your makeup, or prop them in your bathroom where you're brushing your teeth every morning, so that you see them and you remind yourself. And even at night when you brush your teeth, so that you remind yourself of what it is that you need to be telling yourself. Take small, manageable steps every single day. Just small ones. It's better than being where you are now. Recognize and flip all those negative thoughts. So if you're a person that says, I can't do this, flip it around, I can do this. Okay, so the quicker you recognize and flip it, it will become a habit. In actual fact, what happens over time, if you do this long enough, it is when you actually say a negative thought that you actually feel funny, so to speak. Okay, so it's when you actually say a negative thought that you actually feel out of your comfort zone, rather than when you say a positive thought feeling out of your comfort zone. Reflect on your thoughts. Are they real? These thoughts that you're having that are stopping you from getting you to where you want to be, are they real, or are they based in some sort of fear? Because at the end of the day, I read a book years and years ago. It's an amazing book. Can't remember the name of the author, but it was called There's Only Fear in Love. So everything that is not based in love is based in fear. So what is it that you're scared of? Because usually we self-sabotage ourselves because we're scared of, if we gain something, what will we gain and what will we lose? And if we don't gain something, what will we gain and what will we lose? Okay, so it's always fear-based. So if you can recognize that and then ask yourself, is that real? Or is that just all in my mind? Because most of the time, things in our mind are bigger than when something really happened. Like if we, you know, we just, fear is a false expectation appearing real. So we make up stories in our head of the worst case scenario of what something can happen. But then if we actually go ahead and do it, it's nothing like that at all. Okay. And understand what you really want. This is a really important one. Sometimes we self-sabotage ourselves because we don't understand what we really want. So what is it that you really, really want? You need to understand that, because sometimes the sabotage comes because what you're striving for, the goal that you have set out there, is not what you really, really want. And journal your thoughts. Journaling your thoughts is a great way, without rereading them, automatic writing, just write, whatever comes out is a great way of understanding and seeing what is actually in those thoughts. Okay, what is it that you're actually thinking about? Really important. So that's it for me for today, guys. Thank you. I appreciate you both on Facebook and here in the webinar, the ones that have showed up, and also everyone else who's going to watch it on replay. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you'd like to know more about your self-sabotaging behaviors, if you'd like to understand yourself more, reach out and let's have a little chat. Now, there will not be a Monday morning musing webinar next week because I am teaching, but the following week there will definitely be one. No problems, Ree. Lovely to have you watching. And as I always say every week, you can find me on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. But if you want to have a personal conversation, please do find me, reach out, and we'll have a talk about your self-sabotaging behaviors. So thank you again, everyone, for being here. I look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks. Bye for now. Enjoy the next 2 weeks, and I'll see you back in Melbourne in 2 weeks' time. Bye for now.